Tonight, 1,686 students fail 7th form examinations. Impasse resolved after hotel workers walked off jobs. And countdown to the new year begins. Very good evening. Those stories are coming up in this bulletin. But first, tonight, a 6-year-old child's body was found floating in a pond this afternoon. Police say the boy is believed to have drowned. Spokesperson Anane Soro says that around 1 p.m. today, 2 women found the boy's body floating in the Paradise Pond off Nduvula Road in Nandera. Naisoro adds that the child had allegedly left home at midday without informing his parents. Police are pleading with parents and guardians to closely monitor their children to avoid such preventable accidents. As our outgoing 7th formers received their FSFE results today, an alarming 1,686 students failed. 6,802 students wrote the exam, with 5,115 students passing.
The Ministry of Education says this year's 75.2% pass rate in the FSFE is satisfactory.
I am quite pleased with the pass rate. This is the highest examination in the school system, and we appreciate the effort that the teachers have put in and the students have put in to get that. I am not in a position to comment on the highest mark because the results are provisional at this stage, and there could be rechecks and so forth. But I can say the highest mark is over 370.
With an allocation of $52.5 million to support students who will be attending tertiary institutions next year, the ministry is advising students to take advantage of this initiative.
Students are also aware of the student loan scheme and the Topaz program that will come in from 2014. So if they qualify under that, then they should try and get admission approvals from various tertiary institutions and submit it to the board so that the board could make appropriate decisions on them.
For students who feel they have not done well, this is not the end of the road.
There are many times we have failed in life, and there is another chance. So people could either go back and repeat, or they could pick up some other courses which can be taken after Form 6 and so forth. So I would like to encourage those students who may not have done very well that take life positively and see what they could do, including repeating if necessary.
With our 7th formers now relieved, the Fiji School Leaving Certificate results will be released on January 14th. Pratish Raj, Fiji One News.
And for many of our students today, receiving the examination results is the perfect way to herald in the new year. Today, the Ministry of Education office began distributing results.
It's a common scene every year. As we draw close to the next year, school principals and students were busy collecting their results. These students are luckier, as next year will mark the start of government's tertiary education and loan scheme. And as expected, there is so much anticipation.
Well, I'm happy with the marks. It's just the result for what I've been putting on from this year, and I'm expecting it.
While some were happy with their marks, others were not so pleased, but remain optimistic for 2014.
It's better to get something than nothing. And yeah.
What are your plans for 2014?
Go to uni and continuing my studies.
After a year of sleepless nights and sacrifice and celebrations during the holiday season, the focus will soon return to continuing education.
Yes, I'm kind of happy with my marks. It was, I was expecting it. Next year, I'm planning to study marine science and USB. I hope I get through.
A total of 6,802 students from 158 centers wrote the FSFE exam this year. Pratish Raj, Fiji One News.
The Ministry of Labour this afternoon declared the strike by hotel workers unlawful. Minister Chone Usomate, in a government statement, said the strike between the National Union of Hospitality and the Sheraton and Westin Resorts was in breach of the employment regulations promulgation. Usomate says the ERP requires a notice of secret ballot be provided to the Registrar of Trade Unions prior to any strike actions. He adds that the Registrar of Trade Union today confirmed that he had not received any such notice. Usumati says he has exercised his powers vested in him under the ERP by declaring the strike unlawful. His order was being delivered by a special team from the Ministry of Labour to the union and the striking workers and Sheraton today. The countdown to the new year has begun. At Albert Park in Suva, the FM 96 Fiji Street Party is expected to be a jam-packed event like in past years. Drebukelangi with the story.
The countdown has already started for Fiji's biggest annual event. In less than an hour, the New Year's Street Party will get started on the streets of the capital. Hundreds of people are already flocking into Suva to be part of the celebration. And just like last year, thousands of Fijians are expected to be in Suva tonight to welcome the new year.
I can say to you that if you can sit at home and you can listen to one of the countdowns on our radio stations on air, or you can really make a night of it and a family event of it and come down and just have a good time. One of the absolute beauties of the street party is that it covers every single age group. So whether you're a baby in a pushchair or whether you're grandma, there is something for everybody to do there, and we're very particular about that.
Organizers have also included a countdown display for those who will be in Suva's Albert Park.
And with the early evening entertainment, this means from 7 o'clock you can come down and enjoy bands, you can enjoy competitions, and then if you want to go home early, that's fine. At midnight we have the big countdown, we have a huge montage of music already sorted to be played at midnight, great big fireworks display, and we continue the music and the dancing right up till 1 o'clock, if that's what you want.
For the organizers, this event will continue to improve to meet the demand from the public.
Message for the new year is all our events are always big, they're always entertaining, and 2014 is going to be a year of bigger events and a lot more that people have never seen before, and I can assure everybody that it's going to be a wonderful year for all of them.
The street party will go on from 7 p.m. tonight to 1 a.m. Drebukelangi, Fiji One News.
The city of Suva is in a frenzy today of excitement and anticipation as people of all ages and ethnicity flock into the central business district area. It's also a time to reflect on the year that was. Abisalome Rambo with the details.
The streets of Suva, filled with people from all walks of life, hoping to get a last-minute glimpse of what 2013 has to offer. Some have already set their goals for the new year.
Well, for me, 2013, it's kind of awesome.
2013 was challenging, but we made it, and looking forward to 2014.
2013 was fun-filled.
It was just another year, but you face the same challenges. They get more difficult as you grow older. Exciting, particularly when you're looking forward to a year where we've been promised election. So it's going to be a better year next year.
Just a week after Christmas, shoppers flocked to get their last best deals of the year. Many still in a spending spree.
The prices are very good, low and good discounts. I like to buy more, but
Well, I think this year New Year shopping, it was good. We have to look at our specials at all the supermarkets. Some supermarkets really put it down, so it was a benefit to the consumers.
For some, simple goals to help them start the new year fresh.
In 2014, I will study hard, work hard and go to school.
I'm from Sydney, Australia, and in 2014 I want to achieve good grades and work really hard.
My New Year's resolution would be to study harder than last year. Yeah, probably work harder, that's all.
With plans in place, resolutions outlined, come 12 midnight, many live with the hope of a greater year. Abisalome Rambo, Fiji One News.
Now back to the strike story that we earlier mentioned. Hotel workers of the Starwood Group owned properties on Denarau Island today walked off their jobs following an impending disagreement with their employers over the past year. But the impasse was quickly resolved when management met with Tuinandi and union representatives who came to an agreement early this afternoon.
Workers of the Starwood Group owned hotels, which include the Sheraton Villas and Westin, today walked off their jobs and sat in peaceful protest at Nareo village just outside Denarau this morning.
Came today, there was no fault at all. There was no police intervention, no government intervention, because we have have been to all the, even to the government side, and even the police came for security reasons. So there was no hiccup in our peaceful protest. It was a success.
Mashidola says the peaceful protest was initiated by the Landowners Council, or LOC, on Denarau and backed by the Employees Union, who weren't happy with a number of unresolved issues with the Starwood Group that weren't addressed appropriately.
Work condition, working hours, maternity leave, and the replacement of permanent workers who have left the hotel. Other issues, including our benefits and benefits as well.
But the stalemate was lifted earlier this afternoon following an extensive meeting between the group's management and the Tui Nandi, Ratuselo Sindawai, and union members.
Two of the hotel managers came for negotiations, and they met with the Landowners Council here in Narewa at the residence of the Tui Nandi. The result of their negotiation was that whatever we raised concerning our issues, workers' issues and benefits, we are going to work on it on the next 14 days.
Madium Balitamana, Fiji One News.
Ahead in the news, social worker acknowledged for her generous work, and social welfare to help our street dwellers find homes. Hello again. Members of the public have been warned not to assist a 65-year-old man of Natavora in Singatoka. Eliki Suka is believed to be hiding from authorities, with police now intensifying their search.
A week after police began their search, Eliki Suka continues to evade authorities. Police have now intensified their search.
We have covered almost all the Matavora hills and areas that likely places that we would like to cover, and also been extending to the relatives and associates.
The search, Tunravu says, has been extensive so far.
Well, investigators have gone that far. They've interviewed them, but I hope that all of them knows the importance of assisting the police officers in regards to our investigation.
Tunravu says Suka is allegedly involved in a crime and should turn himself in to authorities.
This is very serious for us as we look at it from the police point of view. He has committed a serious offense, his loved ones, and yet if there are people who still continue to assist him, then we'll come down hard on them.
Those caught aiding and abetting Suka will be charged. Apisalome Rambo, Fiji One News.
Finding homes for street dwellers is just one of the few things the Ministry of Social Welfare hopes to achieve next year. The problem, rife in almost all towns, is one the state is looking to resolve.
The Ministry of Social Welfare and Poverty Alleviation is working relentlessly, trying to find homes for those that live on our streets. Begging is a crime, but solutions are not so clear-cut.
To go behind the scene, to see really the picture behind the beggars in town. Because on face value, you just see people, asking for money. But behind them, there are much deeper social issues that are driving them into the streets.
The best way is to find homes for our less fortunate.
The best plan would be to look for a proper home, or proper care facility that they would be cared for, place for a shelter, place to have food, place where they can be managed medically, for their treatment, and also for them to be continually supervised.
With most mentally challenged, helping city dwellers find employment and getting them accepted back into society is a daunting task.
So we were happy that the Hut Home provided some for some patients. One of the church organizations, St. Vincent House, they came forth willingly, to provide accommodation for them. And there was an organization who provided philanthropy support to provide bedding and also mattress for them. So there's goodwill, to help out when there is a need.
The ministry hopes that soon those people will find permanent homes.
We are looking at a proper rehabilitation facility in partnership with one of the faith-based organizations, where we're basically going to take them in quite a large number on a more long term for rehabilitation and also for care.
Reviver for all, Fiji One News.
There are people who relentlessly serve others without question, and rarely their efforts are unnoticed. But this is not so for the woman in this next story.
For the first time, a woman took home the Commissioner's Award for the most outstanding civil servant in the Central Division.
Great support, their continuous support, even the ministry, they really support in my programs in the Department of Women's Programs and other ministries and stakeholders down there in Nabwa. Without their support, we won't achieve this victory.
Tia Eke is involved with self-help projects like poultry farming, watermelon and ginger farming to screen painting. A woman interest officer from Navua, she is a tireless campaigner for women projects in the Serua, Namosi and Benga areas.
We earn income through those projects, and that income, it would assist them with their livelihood standard and also to financial education for their children.
The assistant helps empower women who then feel confident to contribute at community level.
We can see them taking part in the Tikina meetings. They are taking part, they raising their voices, they raising their concerns, they are part of the meeting. And also we can see they are also the reps of the village.
Her efforts have helped her reduce crime.
We can see there is a change in the crime rates, change in the domestic violence against women and children.
Reviver for all, Fiji One News.
Always a time to spend with family and friends. Those that have been institutionalized still have reason to celebrate. Residents of our St. Giles Hospital are grateful to those who have taken the time to visit them throughout the year.
We were quite blessed during the Christmas period. A lot of people came forward and they gave food items and tea parties and lunches for our patients.
And doing things a little differently this year, staff will prepare dinner for their 57 residents.
And so for New Year's we'll also do a special meal for the patients. And but people have been coming forward, so we're quite thankful to those who came forward and helped create this festive atmosphere in the hospital as well.
Their message: enjoy the festive season responsibly.
Well, for the new year, a lot of times as we approach the new year, a lot of people make a lot of resolutions and things, and I think one of them should be to keep yourself mentally healthy. And there's lots of ways of doing it. And just because it's the festive season, if people can be a bit more responsible as well in terms of their drinking and things that they engage, activities that they do. So keep it safe and enjoy your holidays, I guess.
The Fiji Military Forces has recalled soldiers helping with rehabilitation works in the Western Division. This is expected to open doors to local contractors following the devastation of Tropical Cyclone Evan a year ago.
A year after taking on the reins of rebuilding and rehabilitating the Western Division, following the devastation of Cyclone Evan, the Fiji Military Forces has recalled its personnel back to barracks, leaving the completion of the work here to the locals.
I must thank the RFMF for coming on board after the cyclone. And they were very much part of our rehabilitation program. So a decision has been made at QEB for the RFMF people to go back into camps. But I must thank them because they have put the foundation.
The Waki says the departure of the RFMF engineers will open doors for district officers to recruit construction companies within their areas of operation to carry on with the work.
What we need to do now is get the right people within the districts to carry on what RFMF has been doing for the last few months of this year.
Commander Dawaki today met with his officers and ministries serving in the division, plotting the way forward with more zest and zeal in the coming year.
We want to complete about 70% by end of June, and we should be hitting the 100% by end of August. so that it gives us time to go out and be part of the election process come September next year. So bringing the team together this year is basically synchronizing, putting together, synchronizing the programs for next year. We need to start early.
He says while the successes of the year will be used as a yardstick to start off the new year, his main focus is to lift the standard of work and its outcome in the coming year. Matthew Mboletamala, Fiji One News.
Stay with us for regional news coming up. The governor of Madang province in Papua New Guinea says a lethal plant disease could be threatening the food supplies on Long Island. The remote island is already experiencing a drought that has affected about 5,000 people who have been running desperately low on food and drinking water, leading to several deaths. Governor Jim Kaas told Pacific Beat that his government will provide financial assistance to the area and hopes the national government will also help. The Bogia coconut syndrome is also affecting tree crops such as coconut, pawpaw trees and bananas. The province has also been experiencing more than 6 months of drought, which is exacerbating the problem. To help the province, Mr. Carr says his province will also be reintroducing airline charters to provide government services to the people. Now remember, you can view tonight's Fiji One News Bulletin on our website at www.fijione.tv, and you can also watch previous news bulletins as well as our current affairs, business and sports shows. Andrew is next with sports, and Fiji Sevens coach looking forward to meet players in their first camp.
Yes, Vili, he's expected to gauge the players specifically on fitness before chopping the squad to 16. That's coming up. Also in sport, overseas players in for the under-20 trials. And former long-distance athlete making a comeback.